Kona Tower, Skylane 4 Uniform Whiskey, holding short at 17 Golf. We're ready for northeast departure.
Skylane 4 Uniform Whiskey, Kona Tower. Wind 270 at 5, runway 17 at Golf, cleared for takeoff. Left downwind departure approved.
17 from Golf, clear for takeoff, left downwind northeast 4 Uniform. Actually, we're good, because he rotated way the hell past the end of the runway, so I think we're good on distance.
Okay. Nobody on final?
Or climbed out past the end of the runway, I should say. He rotated like at the end. Yeah, final's clear, upwind clear, windsock confirms the 270. As we're gonna mosey out, take a left. You'll get to see all the new paving work that our airport's doing because of all the cracks we keep having in our runway.
Oh, is that earthquake or just sun?
Just mostly slump. It's because this is built on a lava field with a bunch of tubes. And so they're just collapsing and caving in and taking the runway with it.
Okay.
Alright, heels on the floor, off the brakes. Yep. Everything's looking green and healthy. Whenever you're ready, you can set takeoff power.
Okay. Go full power.
Alright, power set. Gauge is green. Speed alive. Looking for 60 to rotate.
Okay, 60.
And then 80 to 90 on climb out.
There's 60.
There you go.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, she heavy. There you go.
At 80 to 90.
There we go.
Kona Tower, south 1150. Going up on the localizer.
Okay.
Southwest 1150 Kona Tower. Approach end wind variable between 270 and 030 at 4. Runway 17.
Once you hit 500 feet, you're going to bring your manifold pressure via your throttle back to 24 inches. It'll be the top gradient arc.
24.
Yep. There you go. And then we're going to make a left turn directly to that highway.
Left turn. 90 knots, still climbing. This is not a 172.
She got a little bit more oomph. When you tell it to climb, it climbs.
Oh. Okay, 900.
There you go.
Do I square this off or just keep going around?
We're going to square it off because we're doing a left downwind departure technically. So.
Okay.
Then once you're just over the highway here, start a left-hand turn.
Okay.
And these light bumps that we're feeling, most of them will go away once we head out over the water. Southwest on final there, about 10:30, 11 o'clock.
I don't have him visually.
Just below the horizon.
Got him.
On a
Yep,
perch.
got him. I was looking too high. It's cool to see.
Yeah, pretty neat. So this is the Four Seasons Hawala Light, just off our right-hand side, and then Rosewood, like Hawaiian, or not Hawaiian, sorry, Kona Villas? I forget the exact name, but either way, there's a bunch of new like condo resorts put up on this end of it. We're right at the tail end of whale season, so you might see a whale or two, but they're starting to dwindle.
We saw a ton of them yesterday. I mean, there was one juvenile that breached about 80 yards from the boat.
Oh, that's cool.
It was amazing. Yeah, there's one blowing right below us.
I was going to say, I thought I saw one over there, but... My favorite's when you see the mom do like a big breach, and like, you know, gets a ton of air, and then the baby tries, and it's just like, bloop, a little tiny plop.
Do you mind taking the flight controls?
Sure, flight controls.
Your flight controls. I just want to see if I can get a photo of that. I can actually see the animal. That is so cool. I don't know that iPhone will pick that up, but that's pretty awesome.
Well, that's just it. Like, the camera never really does it justice, but it is really cool to witness and be able to see a whale like that.
Yeah, traffic Sunshine 9 just south of Apollo Point will be eastbound, currently 2.2.
You're just coming back from the valleys?
I'm trying to get to the valleys. Where are you at?
We're off the Monolani. I was curious. The radar didn't look promising, but I figured I'd run into somebody up here and be able to tell me.
Yeah, I'll let you know here in a minute. I was able to get through just a few minutes ago, but for this next loop, it's not looking as great.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was figuring too. But I'll keep an ear out. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
I won't be heartbroken. You know, I'm already exceeded expectations.
Thank you.
Just off our right is Kauai Harbor, and then there's
Right.
a little rock structure just upslope. That's a heiau. A heiau is a Hawaiian temple for various reasons. A lot of times they're like an ancient, you know, either sacrificial spot, or it's some place of like cultural or like religious importance to the Hawaiians. That one specifically is in homage to King Kamehameha. That's where he slaughtered his brother.
Oh.
One of his brothers anyway. And then this bay is where he amassed his flotilla to go conquer the Hawaiian Islands. He's always renowned as being like the first king of Hawaii, but the real truth to it is he's the first king of all of Hawaii. Prior to him, there was a king on each island, and they were always at war with each other, and he was the one to put an end to that by conquering all of it. Kind of interesting, but as we work our way up along the coast, you'll see a lot of little rock structures by the water. A lot of them are whatever, just like an old wall or foundation, but there's also a lot of them that are heiaus. But a lot of it's undocumented, so nobody knows what's what.
And I'm just looking ahead, and like that doesn't look like great visibility right there.
No, it doesn't. We could reverse course if you want.
I think that might be my favorite.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's make a left-hand turn, then. We tend to turn away from the land.
Should I slow down first?
Nah, you're okay. You're at 110, you're good. Just keep it like a 20-degree bank or so. We'll just do a shallow left-hand turn.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll mosey
Left-hand turn coming in.
Sounds good. I mean, don't quote me on it, but usually turning away from the wind makes it a little less, as I say that, right?
On cue.
It's literally, the plane knows, I swear.
On cue.
Makes it a little less turbulent, but we'll see.
I'm not sure if I'm 20 or not. Somewhere between 10 and 30 here.
Well, average it out, right? Like whatever feels right. To rev up the prop too. I'll pull that back.
My wife has no interest in flying with me, so I'm really glad she didn't come today.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
It's a fun way to see the resort.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
That's where my in-laws lived for those years. Their little house down there, just here on the Waikoloa side.
Yeah, that's that one that's talking. He's going up to the ridge line. They go up to that like series of hills you see on the interior there. It's the Pu'uanhulu Ridge. It's the that is one single 200-foot thick lava flow from Hualalai.
Wow.
That one single flow, it built all that up. And then they'll go up to Pu'uvava, which is that little cinder cone on the interior. Sometimes we affectionately refer to it as the Jello mold because it looks like an upside-down bundt cake, like a Jello pan. Yeah, it's got like the ridges, and each ridge has a tree band in it. It's kind of cool looking.
Fun.
Kona Tower, Skylane 4 Uniform Whiskey. We're about 9 miles northeast of the field. Shoreline 2,200. Request transition to the southeast and shoreline if able.
Skyline 4 Uniform Whiskey, Kona Tower. Proceed southbound on the shoreline. Cross the runway extended center line and report midfield down.
All right, so we'll proceed southbound via the shoreline and report crossing the center line for 17 and report midfield. It's 4 Uniform Whiskey. Actually, I don't have to report the crossing, just report midfield, but whatever. Well, I got you a shoreline transition, which is even better. We don't get this too often,
Cool.
but you get to see some of the really pretty beaches here on short final to the runway. The next two big white sand beaches coming up, you've got Makalavena, which is probably the prettiest white sand beach on this side, in my opinion. It's my personal favorite.
That's this right here.
Yeah, it's got like 3 big bays, a couple rocks offshore.
Yeah.
Super, super soft white sand. A little bit of a chore to get to. You have to have a real beefy 4-wheel drive vehicle to get in from the north side, or you go to Kekahakai, which is the next beach, and then you'll see there's like a little trail across the lava rock.
Sure.
And the road to Kekahakai is getting pretty beat, but you used to be able to make it with just about any vehicle. Nowadays, you kind of need something with some good clearance. But
So do you mind taking the flight controls?
Sure. My controls.
Your flight control. Couple of photos here. Where did I put that phone? Right here. That's a fun view.
But if you're high enough up, our big runway looks like a small runway.
Yeah.
On a Towers, Skylane 4 Uniform Whiskey, we're midfield shoreline transition.
Skyline 4 Uniform Whiskey, continue southbound on the shoreline. Traffic departing the taxiway, remaining in closed patterns. A helicopter that'll be left to your course.
Alright, copy all shoreline southeast 4 Uniform Whiskey.
Cessna 4 Uniform Whiskey, frequency change approved. No traffic is observed to the south. Have a great day.
Alright, we'll talk to you in a bit. 4 Uniform Whiskey.
Did he say no traffic observed?
No traffic observed.
Wow.
There's a white sand beach coming up right at the bottom of like this kind of denser packed neighborhood.
Yeah.
There's a white long building right before the beach, right on the edge of the coast.
Okay, I
That's
see
where
it.
Magic Sands is. Now there's no sand on it right now because it all got washed away like we were talking about in the office.
Amazing.
But yeah, it's a rocky beach. And it's the locals sometimes refer to it as tragic slams because it's number 3 in the state for neck and back injuries. And mind you, this is including everything in the state. Pipeline, you know, Waimea Bay on Oahu, like the big wave surfing spots, like, and even still Magic Sands is number 3.
Wow.
It's a real gnarly shore break, and because of where it's at, it's very, I guess, innocent looking, and it attracts a lot of people that really shouldn't be in the ocean because it, you know, they don't understand how powerful the ocean can be.
Right, yeah.
And they wander out there and get hurt. Kind of unfortunate, but
In the video, you're explaining how this is where Captain Cook was killed with his own knife or something.
maybe. I don't usually mention the knife, but yeah, Captain. Yeah, this is where Captain Cook first made landfall and where he was slaughtered by the Hawaiians. There's a lot of different stories. The most popular, like, general iteration of it, though, is that he was not very welcomed. The Hawaiians stole something from him. He didn't like it. Take too kindly to it. He took a hostage to try and negotiate and get his stuff back. The Hawaiians really didn't like that, so they murdered him.
Wow.
And just sent back like the skull and crossbones and basically leave. And set a bad precipice for the white man in Hawaii, starting from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So the Hawaiian royalty. I don't know if you like volunteered or if you were selected or how this process worked, but they'd lower somebody down the cliff face on a rope, find a place in the cliff to bury the bones, and then they'd chop the rope so nobody would know where the bones are buried. This little area we're coming up on to is Kona now. This is a city of refuge. Is like where basically if you were like a wanted criminal and you made it down here, they'd stop looking for you.
Wow.
It's kind of like Hawaii's Australia. That's its claim to fame.
Literally just right here?
Yeah, this little inlet here. And there's a little bit of community upslope too, but yeah, city of refuge. Kona now. There's also where Two-Step is. Popular snorkel beach and scuba spot. It's just below us. They call it Two-Step because basically 2 steps and you're in the ocean.
Oh, wow.
That's the running adage. But yeah, it's real deep water. If you're not afraid of deep water, it's a really nice spot. And the surf's usually super calm, just because of the nature of the ocean down here. As you can see, there's no wind or anything. It's nice and flat.
You can see the color change pretty dramatic there. It goes from green to blue like that.
Oh, I know. But what's cool about these are lava fingers off the southwest rift zone. This is all like flow zone 1, so real dangerous. Well, flow zone 2, but real dangerous. The island's divided into 5 different flow zones. I'll talk about that in a minute. But you can see how a river of lava formed, and you can see like where it's built up. Those are like old eruption sites, little plume spots. They form what we call cinder cones because the magma is under immense pressure under the earth, right? And there's a lot of dissolved gases, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen, argon, whatever. And it's because it's under so much pressure, it's all dissolved into the magma. But as soon as it breaches the surface and reaches atmosphere, the pressure drops off and it literally just explodes.
Wow.
And it fragments into these tiny little, chunks of molten rock. that flash cool in the air and they rain back down as like solid little cinders. And they build up a cone, kind of like an anthill, around the eruption site, and they're called cinder cones. But because it has a central eruption point coming through the middle of the cone, what usually happens is over time, these cinder cones, that lava tube collapses and caves in on itself, and the cone follows suit. So you'll wind up with like this like kind of donut shape where it caves in on the very top. And they're called cinder cones.
How old is a flow like that? I mean, it doesn't look that old.
These are 1950.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these aren't that old. Yeah, there's, you can see across the way, that's South Point.
That's
Southernmost
cool.
point of the U.S. And you can see another color change on the water and white caps up ahead. That's that wind shear that we're talking about. So, Kona Point.
Do you mind taking the flight controls
sure.
just so I can get a photo of that?
Controls.
Okay, you got the flight controls. So, reverse course?
Yeah, your discretion, we can reverse back. Left or right, it doesn't really matter. It's flat down here, so I'm not too worried about it.
Okay.
The statistic is in clear water, with your face in the water at the surface, you can see as far down as about 80 meters with the sun at like due noon, like perfect conditions basically, like crystal clear water, sun directly above you. You can peer down about 80 meters, so 250-ish feet, a little more than that. The thing is, that's not true because those perfect conditions never exist. So lop off 10 or 20 meters of it. Let's say 60 meters. That's also assuming your face is at the water. Because we're above it, maybe lop off a little more. I figure from the sky you can see through the water down to a depth of about 100, maybe 150 feet if you're lucky. So yeah, when you can see the texture on the bottom and then it trails off, that's when you know it's about 150 or so feet deep. But in that 100 feet or so, especially with the sandy bottoms and stuff, you get some really beautiful colors.
Yeah.
Just off the right side, there's a little pillar here in the water. I don't know if you saw it on the way down or not. This is that first crack.
Sure.
But it's an iron core. It's like an old lava tube. The iron it's a little more dense than the other minerals in the lava, so it tends to condense to the center. And then the rest of the rock will break down over time, and this is just one instance of where the core remains.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
If you dip the wing right now, you'll probably be able to see it. Like just behind the right wing, it's like a little pillar offshore.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's an old iron core.
That's pretty awesome.
You'll see a bunch of them along the coast, but that one's just kind of big and notable. Kona Tower, Skylane 4 Uniform Whiskey. We're about 9 miles southeast of the field. 1,500 inbound for landing with Bravo.
Skylane 4 Uniform Whiskey, Kona Tower, make left traffic, runway 17. Report midfield downwind, flyer downwind east of the Queen K.
All right, we'll make a left downwind east of the Queen K for 17 and report midfield 4 Uniform Whiskey.
867 left at the end, holding the south hammerhead, contact ground.
Okay, left at the end, hammerhead ground, Alaska 860.
Otherwise, we can do our gumps check. So gas indicators, mixture prop, seatbelts.
So gas,
Gas
holes,
from both.
undercarriage welded,
Yeah.
down and welded.
I got a wheel on my side. You got one on your side? Yep. All right, so we're guaranteed 2. Third is to be determined. We'll find out. Otherwise, undercarriage mixture, we can go full forward.
Do I twist or just push?
You can push it in.
1353, traffic no factor, for exchange proof.
And then prop will bring this up, so you can spin it clockwise, basically until bottoms. There you
That's
go.
the end of it.
And then you can reduce power. We got to start coming down
Hotel
here.
Papa, Hody short at Hotel 17, ready for southeast departure.
Next 739 at Hotel Pop, Kona Tower, hold short runway 17 at Hotel for wake turbulence.
Hold short 17 Hotel, Hotel Papa.
You don't have to be like super east of the Queen K here. You just want to be like a little bit east. Like as long as you can look off your left side and see the road, then you're good.
Okay.
It's for the helicopters in the practice areas. There's, I haven't heard any, but I thought there was one in the South Alpha circuit. I could be wrong.
Okay, so I'm looking for 800, right?
Yeah, between 8 and 9.
Okay.
Honestly, half the time I just park it at 9. I figure round up. There you go. And you want like about 90 knots on downwind. whatever's going to work power setting wise to get you that. I'm not entirely sure, honestly.
Okay.
There you go.
So, and I want...
There you go. I'd add just a little bit of power here. I'm going to open the cowl flaps now.
Okay.
Tower, Skyline 4 Uniform Whiskey, midfield, left downwind, 17, full stop.
Skyline 4 Uniform Whiskey, runway 17, clear to land. You're inside of traffic on a 10-mile final of Merlin. Stationary traffic departed at 737, caution way turbulence.
Alright, well, caution traffic, say again the type that we're inside of, Bend 17, clear to land, 4 Uniform Whiskey.
4 Uniform Whiskey, you're inside of a Merlin. They're going 170 knots.
Alright, copy, thank you, 4 Uniform Whiskey. Alright, let's pull some power back. We gotta snake in here pretty quick. So chop it and drop it. We'll go reduce the power, go ahead and do your first set of flaps.
Okay.
I would pull the power out a little bit more. Let's do a second set of flaps. And then we'll turn base when you're ready.
Like now?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. Turn.
There we go. And we want about 70 knots over the numbers.
Okay.
We're going to try and get off at Golf, which will be the first exit. Yeah, because they're holding a hotel.
Kona Tower, good morning. Outrider 11, ILS option, runway 17.
Okay, so power's at 1700. I'm 80
Kona
knots
Tower, runway 17.
About 500 feet.
On the go, fly heading 300.
I actually feel pretty good about that. Final looks clear.
Yeah, we're looking good. You can pitch back a little and slow it up just a little.
Outrider 11, you're number 2 of the field following a Cessna Skylander.
400.
Left base to final.
11 will be looking.
Add a little power. Start my turn.
There you go. I'd say aim to round out over the runway at about the 1,500 foot markers.
Yeah.
That should be their third marker down the runway. They're actually looking pretty good. I'd say reduce a little power.
Sound okay about this?
Yeah, we're a little fast, but otherwise we're okay.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Start correcting for the crosswind. It's going to be left rudder and right aileron. Right aileron.
Thank you, thank you.
There you go. I'll help you with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Left rudder, and go ahead and reduce your power out.
Power's all the way out.
And then just a little bit of flare in it. There you go. Yeah, the crosswind's kind of tricky. You got to like bury it to the right.
Skyline 4 Uniform Whiskey, turn left at Golf, contact ground.
Golf over to ground for Uniform Whiskey. Alright, so light braking. We're going to try and get off here at the first taxiway.
Okay. What am I doing?
Oh, nicely done. No, we're good. Just basically take the left turn. Don't hit the turtle. I don't know what the proper term for it's just a runway light, but we always call it the turtle. Don't run over the turtle.
I'm doing a full stop here.
I'll call ground. Just keep rolling forward slow. But on the ground, for Uniform Whiskey, we're clear of 17 at Golf. Request tech part.
4 Uniform Whiskey, Kona ground taxi, be Alpha Delta.
Alpha Delta for Uniform Whiskey. Alright, so we're going to take it right. Half the time you can just get a taxi clearance right away, so I usually just keep it rolling.
Nice.
Now flaps open, mixture is lean, trim is reset, flaps are up. That's our post-landing check.
When did you do the mixture?
I just did it now.
Nice.
Like right before I started.
That was beautiful. That was super fun. Thanks for the help.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's fine. It's this plane's kind of tricky to land anyway, and the last thing I want to be worried about is like crosswind alignment. So it's like, well, just straighten it out a little bit, help you out a little bit. No big deal.